Welcome to the Bearcat Coaches Show. I'm Graham Simpson. The baseball team lost a non-conference matchup with defending national champions and top-ranked North Greenville last Tuesday, but rebounded to take 2 out of 3 to North Georgia over the weekend. Hear from Coach Burke about the series win and how the team is preparing for Wingate and Claflin this week.
We're here with head baseball coach Jason Burke. A 2-2 week. Started off going against the number 1 team in the country, North Greenville. Had a tough going there, but then picking up 2 games against North Georgia, a big conference series. If you don't mind just kind of going through your thoughts on how the week overall went.
Yeah, I mean, North Greenville is obviously number 1 in the country for a reason. They're a very, very talented, very, very deep team. I thought they played a very good game, and I thought we, did not for most of the time, to be honest with you. Went out there, we just gave them too many free passes, a lot of walks in that game, not a lot of high strike percentages. I thought we dug ourselves a hole pretty early in that game, and offensively we did some pretty good things to kind of claw back in there a little bit. But ultimately, you just got to throw more strikes versus a good team like that. I mean, they're going to get their runs anyway. They have to be one of the, if not the best offense in the country statistically. And, if you give them walks, obviously those doubles and home runs that they're going to hit anyway become multi-run hits instead of solos. We'll get a chance to get back at them. Not this midweek, but next midweek, and hopefully we throw a lot more strikes and are in a lot better situation there. Going into North Georgia, we knew that was a pivotal conference series for us. I mean, you're on the road. It's a team in the rankings that are right beside you in the Peach Belt standings. We had been telling our guys all week how important this series was and how well we needed to play. I was proud of our pitching staff during that series. Just like I said with the North Greenville game, we did not throw a ton of strikes. I felt like this series we did. We threw 64% first pitch strikes for the series. We only had 1 pitcher in the entire series throw under 55% strikes. And, that's a formula to beat a lot of teams if you do that. So I felt like we did a good job on the mound. Offensively, I felt like we did enough in the first game. The second game, their pitcher was really, really good. And I thought all 3 of their starters really threw the ball very well for North Georgia. In that game, in the third game, we were able to get their bullpen late and keep scoring when we needed to. I mean, that was kind of a back-and-forth game, and it was great to see, our team show some toughness and, give up the lead in the 9th, then score in the 10th, give up the lead in the 10th, and then come back in the 11th and score 5 runs, to kind of put that game away was really, really good to see.
You talk about the pitching, and game 1, Nick Foray had a very strong 5 innings, good quality start, 6 strikeouts, and then Bennett Nance comes in at the very end and shuts things down. I think 2 2/3 innings, gets the save. And you talk about the offense, both teams firing on both cylinders, kind of trading punches, but obviously you guys came away with that one. Game 2, both teams, you and North Georgia, just not really much going on, just 1 run separating the 2 teams. And obviously game 3, you talk about the late rally and kind of going back and forth, but obviously shutting the door in the 11th. Who's been a couple players so far that have been standing out to you? I know as of now, Carter Jarreau's had a big game 3. Dalton Stroud, a freshman, has been popping up here and there. He's had a very productive freshman campaign when called upon as well.
Yeah, I mean, on the pitching side of things, it's good to see Foray have a good start on the road versus a good opponent. Foray has not been as dominant this year as he was last year, but he's been good. It's not like he's been bad. He's been good, and to see him have a really, really good start, to hopefully start getting back to where he was last year was great to see. I felt like Cooper King threw the ball very, very well. Cooper usually throws a lot of strikes, and he did that again and forced him to kind of hit their way around the bases. Bennett Nance has been phenomenal this year. And I've really liked Evan Demarius. Moving him to the bullpen, I think, helped our team and helped him. Offensively, you hit the nail on the head, man. Dalton Stroud's been phenomenal. He has played a good shortstop with Ethan Wilder out, played some third base before that. I believe he's tied for the lead in our team in stolen bases already, and even though he's only started, I think, 13 or 14 games, he's doing a phenomenal job. I felt like Gary Garrett took good swings all weekend and obviously plays a very, very good center field. Matthew Burgess has been steady this entire season. So it was good to see that. Good to see some guys that have been steady for us continue to be that way. And, then you got some new guys that are kind of plugged into the lineup. Dupert's been out, and, I think he's finally starting to hit his stride. Connor Droz Rodriguez would go in that steady Eddie category, where I feel like he's been the same player pretty much all year for us, which is great. Chandler Muller's getting some opportunities out there and was able to, hit a double down the line. And Chris Manriguez got some starts this weekend and hit a big, bases clearing double for us. And got a big knock in the last game that kind of sparked a rally. When we were down in that last game 2-0, Duper reaches, then Manriguez reaches, and that kind of got things going for us offensively. So, a lot of guys starting to do some things that are really good to see. And, hopefully this is the start of building on what we did this past weekend and starting to get some more consistent W's.
Well, thank you, Coach. Obviously, a big weekend, a big week. All weeks are big for you guys. You go to Wingate on Tuesday, and then you host Claflin here for a 3-game Peach Belt Conference Series starting Friday. Stay tuned for more on the Lander Bearcat Coaches Show.
You've envisioned it before, your future. It's big and it's bold. Now, it's time to make it happen. Our experienced faculty and friendly staff work to provide a personalized and supportive academic experience that most institutions cannot match. Lander University offers fast, flexible, and affordable online and graduate programs for those who want to launch their career path to the next level. When you launch with Lander, the world will take notice. Learn more today at www.lander.edu.
The women's lacrosse team came up just short to number 17 Embry-Riddle last Thursday, 15-8. We talked to Coach DeShiel as the team prepares to open conference play at Montevallo Friday night.
Here with head women's lacrosse coach Bob DeShiel. Coach, kind of a tough week last week. Guys lost a tough game to 17th ranked Embry-Riddle here at home. What was your overall thoughts on your team's performance in that game?
Just kind of got off to a sluggish start. They were up, Embry-Riddle was up 6-1 after the first, and it was 9-1 at half, and just a rough start in that first half that put us in a big hole. Second half was fantastic. Won at 7-6 in the second half, and we really kind of showed up there and performed well. But we just kind of show that if you start slow against a nationally ranked team, it's kind of hard to get out of that hole.
And then you guys came back yesterday and lost to Mount Olive again. You guys started off slow, but you guys were able to bounce back in those last 3 quarters and really make it a close game. Couldn't close it at the end, but what did you see from your team after that tough first quarter to bounce back?
Absolutely tremendous energy. Really proud of the girls to battle in a very, very physical game. But the energy on the field was fantastic, even in tough times. That we were very resilient. Sideline energy was fantastic, the loudest it's been all season. So they competed. They competed for 60 minutes and they fought and they left everything out there, and that's all I can ask for them. We'd like to have the result, obviously, but they battled really hard.
A very physical game. A lot of bodies were on the floor. A lot of cards were giving. What did you see for your team to be able to play through that physicality?
Just eliminating distractions and not being caught up in what the other team was doing or how the calls were going. They just fought. They just competed. And it was kind of a point of emphasis to really just focus on letting go of the negativity or letting go of things that aren't going our way and just focus on us and have a really positive attitude, and the girls succeeded in that regard.
Emmy Pearson has really come alive the last couple of games. She scored, I think 10 goals in the last 2 games, maybe somewhere around that. How have you seen her start to really grow as this season has progressed?
She's just getting the cage. She's going all out, and I know she's been banged up a little bit, but she's fighting through all kinds of tough elements and finishing. She's shooting really, really well right now, and just a great leader, great competitor, and she's leaving it all out there, and we love it.
Who else stood out to you in these last 2 games at home?
Kara Crosby once again in the cage has been doing fantastic. Just really being a leader back there even when times are tough. She's really coming up with big save after big save, and it's just been really, really, really awesome to see her lead the defense. At the draw circle, Haley Von Aken has been doing absolutely tremendous to put the ball in position, and Kaya Mori and Autumn Husky have been able to track down the balls, but Haley has been doing an amazing job of placing it, and Grace Walters at the draw circle as well.
So you guys head to Alabama this weekend to open conference play finally. What you want to see from your team in the game against the Falcons and the Chargers?
We're fired up to get underway. Golf South play the past couple of years, the championship's gone through Huntsville, so we're really excited to get down there. 2 huge ones on the road. We're 4-0 on the road this year, so we're hoping to keep that going. Just bringing the same energy that we brought yesterday to this weekend. I know it's going to be a high stress, high pressure conference game, but bringing that energy and excitement and matching execution is going to lead to a very successful weekend.
Coach, thank you very much. We'll be right back with the Bearcat Coaches Show right after this.
Break on the Lake offers a menu loaded with a wide range of delicious seafood and steaks, along with an amazing selection of handcrafted cocktails. From appetizers to soups and salads, Break on the Lake's food is served with an intimate space perfect for a cozy meal with a family or a quiet date night. Whatever you're here for, you can always count on Break on the Lake for fresh seafood and a warm welcome from their team. Thanks to Sports Break and Break on the Lake, proud sponsors of Bearcat Athletics.
The men's tennis team moved up to number 10 in the latest ITA rankings. We sat down with Coach Simpson to talk about the team's non-conference match with Newberry before the Bearcats return to conference play as they take on North Georgia at home and Young Harris this weekend.
I'm here with head men's tennis coach Brett Simpson. Coach, since we talked last time, you got 2 wins, one over USC Sumter and then Newberry yesterday. A little bit different lineup. How do you feel about getting some experience from the new guys into the lineup?
Yeah, very important. Everyone on the team works hard, practices every day, deserves a chance to play. So yeah, we definitely played some new guys against USC Sumter, and we did well. I mean, we're a very deep team. We got a lot of good players, so a lot of them hadn't played as much, but they got some great match experience there, and yeah, it worked out well. And then Newberry yesterday, it was a pretty tough match. Fell behind early. I think for only the second time this season we lost the doubles point, so we responded well. We had to. We didn't have much choice. So Newberry's a pretty good team. They are ranked. So it was a tough day, but we got the job done in singles. It was good.
And then the ITA rankings that came out last week, the team jumped up to number 10, top 10 team in the country as of right now. How do you feel about kind of having a bullseye on your back, being in the top 10? Obviously teams are coming gunning for you. How do you feel about that?
It's something we talk about every day. I mean, most of the teams we play, they're playing free. They're gunning for us. We have a target every time, almost every time we play. So, our guys always have to be wary of that and just prepare for it. Prepare that the other team's always going to play their best, play with no pressure. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes teams get hot and then they get very fired up because they have an opportunity to beat us. But we just have to withstand that pressure. But it's something we talk about a lot, and we just try to play the match regardless of the team, whether it's a highly ranked team or not. We just try to have the same approach so we don't fall, get lethargic and fall into that trap. But yeah, the rankings, I mean, I think we deserve to be where we are. I mean, we'd love to be higher, but we've got to beat somebody higher ranked than us. And the way the rankings work, it's points accumulation. So yesterday's win won't count until next week. And Sumter not being a Division II school, so we didn't get any rankings points in this next ranking that'll come out. But we have some big matches this weekend that we have a chance to improve.
Yeah, and you talked about it. You guys welcomed North Georgia and Young Harris to Greenwood this weekend. First home conference matches. What are you looking for from the team as you face obviously 2 tough Peach Belt teams?
Yeah, both having good years. North Georgia's super tough. And Young Harris as well has had a good year. They're definitely a ranked region team for sure. It's hard to look past the North Georgia because they're coming up first. So that's what we're preparing for on Friday. But we know it's going to be a war out there with North Georgia, highly ranked team. Probably should be ranked higher than what they are right now. But they haven't really lost to anybody lower ranked. Only lost to some top ranked teams. So we know we're in for an extremely tough match, and we're going to have to play very well to get a win, and have to play well the following day, regardless of whether we beat North Georgia. We're going to have to back it up and play well to beat Young Harris.
Yeah. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us, and good luck this weekend. And we'll be back after these messages with the Bearcat Coaches Show. Open since 1959, the Dixie Drive-In is home to the Dixie Cheese. A short-order restaurant with a family-friendly atmosphere, the Dixie Drive-In offers comfort foods like burgers, fries, and sweet tea. Located across the street from the Jeff May Complex at 600 Montague Avenue, be sure to plan your post-game meal at the Dixie Drive-In.
The track and field teams competed in their first ever meets this past weekend at the Trojan Opener. Hear from what Coach Scola had to say about the team's first meet and the upcoming meet in Columbia.
Here with head track and field coach Kevin Scola. Coach, first weekend with a meet, and you guys have 4 placers scoring the first points for the team in program history. What were your overall thoughts from your team's performance?
I was really pleased overall with them. We started out really good in the throws on Friday. I thought that Alejandra and Addie did a great job in the jav. We looked excellent to get things started.
Like you said, you had 4 placers, Addison Davis, AJ Sabatino, Gage Kukuka, and Malcolm Johnson. What were your overall thoughts from their performance?
Very good. There's still some elements to work on. I'd like to see Malcolm improve some things, like to see Gage improve some things, but as a first competition to show up and just prove we belong out there with the guys that have been doing this for years is a big step.
So, who were some other performances that stood out to you?
I thought Ashley Early looked phenomenal in the 400. Reagan Hunter in the 100 was excellent. Honestly, just in the 100, competing in his first race, he'd never competed in track and field. I thought Frank Teal was very good in the 100. He's somebody that's going to be really interesting in a year.
So now you guys look ahead to this weekend, competing in the Women's Fasting Invitational at South Carolina. There were a lot of good teams that will show up at that meet. So what do you want to see from your team this weekend?
Just continued improvement. I was most impressed with the attitudes coming out of the weekend. Everybody seemed very positive about what they could do, what they could build on for the rest of the season. And I'd like to see that just roll through this week too.
Coach, thank you very much. Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with the Bearcat Coaches Show right after this.
If you're looking for a place to enjoy good eats and good times, look no further than Sports Break. Great food, friendly service, and a fun atmosphere have been on the menu since 1990. So bring the family by for lunch, stop in to watch a game, or enjoy a late night with friends with some cold drinks while listening to live music at Sports Break.
Women's tennis team took care of Converse 5-2 on Saturday. Hear from Coach Allison on the team's performance and how they are preparing to host North Georgia and Young Harris this weekend.
Here with head women's tennis coach Sam Allison. Coach, you guys beat Converse last week 5-2. Just give your overall thoughts on your team's performance.
Yes, so it was a good performance for us. I mean, after spring break, we had almost 2 weeks of no competition, so we had to dust some cobwebs off, but they got the job done, and that's all I can ask for.
So you guys cracked the rankings this week, ranked 38, and had a pair ranked in the doubles rankings as well. Just give your overall thoughts on that recognition.
Yeah, I'm really proud of them on that. To be recognized on the national level is huge. It's huge for recruiting, and the girls have really been working hard, so I'm really glad that we're being recognized for that, and I hope that we can keep it up, and at the end of the year even break into the regional top 10. That would be huge for us and really show how our program has progressed over the last 4 or 5 years.
So you guys get back in the conference play this week, North Georgia and Young Harris. Just what do you want to see from your team as you guys continue your conference play?
Yes, so we're so excited that we are 1-0 in conference going into North Georgia. North Georgia is a very competitive team, so we know that we're going to have to really step up the level. But we're excited. Watching March Madness and watching all the upsets, it's kind of motivated us. So we're excited for this weekend, and especially to be doing it at home.
Coach, thank you very much. We'll be right back with the Bearcat Coaches Show right after this.
The men's lacrosse team battled hard but came up just short to number 9 Anderson 14-9 on Saturday. We talked to Coach Lepore on how the team is gearing up for their first conference opener against Alabama Huntsville this Saturday at the Van Taylor Stadium.
We're here with head men's lacrosse coach Tony Lepore. Tony, bit of an up-and-down game against nationally ranked number 9 Anderson this past Saturday. If you don't mind just kind of going through your thoughts on how the game went. A tough opponent that you guys held together pretty well with, had a chance to possibly overtake them, but unfortunately a second period just didn't go your way.
Obviously, I felt we were really well prepared for what they were going to do. And for the most part, the guys executed the game plan quite well. As I mentioned to you before, we outshot them. We picked up more ground balls. We rode them very well. We mitigated their effectiveness at the face-off X. We had the ball more than they did. And it just came down to really one stat that really jumps off the page, and that's 9 of 50 shooting. And anytime you shoot 18%, you're probably not going to win. So it's obviously really disappointing, but the silver lining is we were able to execute the game plan effectively and do enough to give us the opportunities. We just didn't cash in.
Yeah, obviously, when you're going up against a team that's able to make 20 saves, it's very hard to score the ball when you're going up against an offensive juggernaut on that type of day. Obviously, face-off numbers weren't going in your favor, but you did do a lot of things well. Obviously, a lot of shots on goal. Obviously, not a lot of them finding the back of the goal, but a lot of caused turnovers. We talked earlier. Possession numbers pretty even, and you guys tied a program high with 21 caused turnovers. That's a lot of extra turnovers that you're able to mitigate and help set up the offense. And right now, I think you guys are top 20 for obviously caused turnovers per game, but I think you're top 4 right now for total caused turnovers. We've talked about it last week, but it's not only the defensive players, but you have a lot of offensive players able to make the transition game for the opponent very hard in terms of getting the ball out and clearing.
Precisely. It's something that we work on quite a bit, and our attackmen especially take a lot of pride in their hustle and their intensity in the ride. We spend a lot of time on it in practice, and we know it's a way for us to generate extra possessions. As we've discussed, it is a possession game, and the more you have the ball, the likelier you are to win. So we're trying to leverage everything we possibly can to gain extra possessions, and it does start with the attackmen in the riding game. Don't get me wrong, the defensive personnel do a really great job of getting out, applying intelligent pressure to the other team's offense, but our attackmen, they really seem to enjoy riding, and it's a part of our identity, and they take it very seriously.
Obviously, you start conference play against a very strong Alabama-Huntsville team that over the past couple of years has played you guys very tough, whether it's here at Van Taylor or in Huntsville. What should fans expect for the first, not only the first PBC game of the season, but the first conference game at home?
Boy, that's a great question. We know that it's going to be a tough game. Huntsville is I think they're 7-3 right now, and they've managed to put together some really nice wins on the road. Seeing what they did last Saturday, that's a team that knows how to get on a bus and step off it and compete. So a lot of familiarity between our two programs. I think there's going to be both teams of the week prep. So I'd anticipate some new things out there. But it's a conference game against two teams that great rivalry there. And it's going to be a tough physical game, and I'm just hoping that we're able to really get through what we need to get through this week in practice, so we're feeling at our best.
Thank you very much, Coach. Obviously a big PBC men's lacrosse game here at Van Taylor Stadium, Saturday, Bearcats, Chargers. Hope to see you all there. Stay tuned for more of the Lander Bearcat Coaches Show.
Welcome to Hamilton Park Apartments, your destination for luxury living in Greenwood. We feature studio, 1- and 2-bedroom apartments. And first-class amenities. We'll see you soon.
The Bearcats softball team lost 2 out of 3 to Young Harris. We caught up with Coach Crawford to see how the team is preparing to go on the road to take on Catawba and Georgia College this week.
Here with head softball coach Glenn Crawford. Coach, guys went 1-2 over the weekend. Fell behind early in 2 games on Saturday against Young Harris, but you were able to come back and make it a game and have a chance to win the 7th. What did you see from your team to bounce back like that?
Well, number one, you got tip your hat to Young Harris. They can hit the ball, and they put the ball in play and made us play defense, and we fell behind. And I think I told our players is I was very happy to see the fight that they had, to come back, and we were just a key hit away from winning both of those. We had bases loaded in both games, I believe, and just couldn't get a timely hit. And then on Sunday, we come out, we hold them down the first inning. We come out and put a big number up in the first inning, and I thought our pitching was really well. And we started getting those key hits again, and scored a bunch of runs and just put the ball in play. I think we had 10 hits on that day, Sunday, and played better defense and did the little things. So
think that's what the big deal was.
What was the message to the team going into that Sunday game to help them come out with a fire in that first inning, put them in 4 spots?
It's like I told them. I said, yesterday's history, tomorrow's mystery, today's all matters. So let's go out and get back on our winning ways and do the little things and do what we need to do to show them who we are. And I think we did that.
So you guys have non-conference doubleheader at Catawba this week and then travel to Milledgeville to take on the Bobcats. What can you guys do to keep doing those little things and come away with some wins this week?
Well, I just think you just got to stay in the moment, and today's all that matters. And tomorrow we're not, we won't worry about Georgia College till Thursday, but tomorrow it's all about Catawba and getting ready for them and then playing them and doing what we need to do and getting our reps and doing the little things. And then going into this weekend, it's going to be another powerhouse Peach Belt Conference series. And Georgia College has been playing well. They took 2 from Columbus State, so you can't really, look past that. So we got to be on our game and do those little things and get those key hits when we need them.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Best of luck this week. We'll be right back with the Bearcat Coaches Show right after this.
That's all the time we have. Join us next week as we get you caught up on everything happening in Lander Athletics.